Hi students. So last video we discussed about the tissues. Tissues means a group of cells that are similar in structures work together to achieve a particular functions is forms the tissues. And then we discussed in detail about the plant tissues and its types. And today we are going to discuss about the animal tissues. And animal tissues, here also a group of cells which will work together to perform a similar functions that make up the animal tissues. And some of the examples are blood, muscles, nervous. These are some of the examples of animal tissues. So on the basis of the functions they perform, there are different types of animal tissues such as epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue and nervous tissues. And nervous tissue you all are familiar. Already last year in 8th standard we learned about nervous tissues, that is nerve cell along with the diagram. That means mainly to pass the messages. Yes. So here we are going to study these 4 types of tissue in detail. And here you can see the flow chart. And it's very easy to learn when we discuss along with the examples, but here you can see some of the new terms you are going to see here, but when we discuss along with the example it will be easy for you to understand. And here you can see the epithelial, squamous epithelium, cuboidal, columnar, ciliated and stratified squamous. And connective tissue such as areolar, adipose, skeletal, fluid, then muscular 3 types, then nervous tissue. But first today we are going to deal with this epithelial tissue and its types. Okay. And here you can see the animal tissues, that is connective tissue, muscle tissue, epithelial tissue, then blood, bone tissue, then nervous tissue, adipose tissue, mainly stores the fat, then cartilage tissues. So these are some of the animal tissues in the body. And here you can see the 4 different types of tissues where it is being located, etc. First is epithelial tissue, that is epithelial, you know how epi means outer. So epithelial tissue that lines surfaces in the body, and where it is located detail we will study. Okay. Then the muscular tissue or muscle tissue, then nervous tissue which consists of cells with projections that transmit electrical signals or the messages. Then here you can see these 4 are the connective tissue which connects throughout the body. Yes, first is the loose connective tissue. Then here is the bone and the cartilage. Actually bone and cartilage are connective tissue made up of cells in a hard or stiff extracellular matrix. So here what is the matrix in the case of bone and cartilage? It is hard matrix. It is of hard, right? So it is the calcium and phosphorus. Then in the case of bone, then here you can see the blood, and blood is a connective tissue and made up of cells in liquid matrix. You know, we all know that blood is liquid, and what makes it liquid? It consists of plasma. So here the matrix is the plasma, and here it is the calcium and phosphorus, that is the hard matrix. And here today we are going to deal with this epithelial tissue in detail. So epithelial tissue, epi means outer cover, outer protective cover, that is the simplest tissue, and its covering or the protective tissue that is separated from underlying tissue by a fibrous basement membrane. So it is being separated from underlying tissue by a basement membrane, and hence always grows on other tissues. Okay, it is been seen on the mainly in the outer cover of the organs, then cavities, etc. And it can be of simple or stratified. What do you mean by simple? Simple squamous epithelium or simple epithelium means, or squamous epithelium means only made up of one layer. Only made up of one layer, that is very thin, flat, made up of one layer of cells, that is simple epithelial tissue or squamous epithelium. Then it can be stratified. Stratified means it is made up of many layers, that is one above the other arranged, made up of many layers. Okay, then characteristics of epithelial tissues, they are tightly packed cells to form a continuous sheet. They are tightly packed to form continuous sheet, and as it gives protection, and there is no intercellular spaces in them. Okay, and where it is located, it's mainly located in the skin, lining of our mouth, the lining of our mouth, blood vessels, then lung alveoli. What do you mean by alveoli? So alveoli are the tiny air sacs in lungs that take up the oxygen. Okay, so that helps to take up the oxygen in lungs. Then kidney tubule. So this is the place where it is being located. Then it covers the organ and cavities inside the body and separate different system from each other. That means mainly it is actually, think of a cover for each boxes or each cavities or each organ. Okay, then it forms an outer layer of skin. It protects the body from drying, injury and infection. That means it mainly gives the protection to the body. Okay, epi means outer covering. Then as whatever that enters the body or leaves the body, as it is placed an outer cover, right, outer protective layer. So whatever comes to the body or leaves the body must cross at least one layer of this epithelium. So one layer means simple, that is squamous epithelium. So whatever to enter the body or leave the body should at least cross this epithelial outer cover or simple outer cover, that is the squamous epithelium. Okay, so this is about the epithelium, and we need to know different types of epithelial tissue where based on their location, structure, etc. So here you can see the classification of epithelium, and based on number of layers. Here you can see symbol, that is made up of single layer, only one layer of cells you can see here, and here you can see stratified. Stratified means made up of many layers. Here you can see 1, 2, 3, many layers. Okay, and cell shape also, here this is simple, that is squamous, that is a simple. Then here you can see cuboidal, here you see the cuboidal, cube shaped, and here you can see its arrangement, simple cuboidal. And here the squamous arrangement, you can see simple squamous. Here as the cells are cube shaped, it is cuboidal. And here you can see column like or pillar like, so they are known as columnar epithelium. Columnar epithelium, and how it is arranged, you can see how pillar like or column like, simple columnar. And here you can see the stratified squamous, which is been arranged a layer over there, many layers. Okay, so here we need to study in detail about the types of epithelial tissues based on their structure, location in the body and their function. So first we will discuss about squamous epithelium. Squamous epithelium, that is simple squamous epithelium. So the cells are here thin, flat and irregular cells, and it looks like our floor tiles, and to form a lining called pavement epithelium. That lining is called the pavement epithelium. And where it is located, it is mainly seen in our esophagus. Where is esophagus? That is the food pipe, then lining of our mouth, then alveoli of our lungs and blood vessels. And what are the functions? And functions are protects the underlying tissue from injury and germs, exchange of gases as it is present in the alveoli, lungs, etc. Yes, then blood vessels, so the exchange of gases in lungs and materials between cells and blood. So these are the functions of squamous epithelium. Now here you can see the second one, that is a cuboidal epithelium. As it is, the cells are cube shaped. It is cuboidal. So cells are cuboidal with round nucleus at the, here you can see at the center. Nuclei in the center, and where it is located? In the kidney tubules and ducts of salivary glands, which helps in the secretion of saliva. And what are the functions? The functions are gives mechanical support and at times At times, as that is sometimes, the epithelial tissues folds. It will fold and forms a gland that secrete substances. Such epithelium is called glandular epithelium. That means at times the epithelial tissue folds. It folds and form a gland that secrete substances. So such epithelium, those which secrete glands or secretions, such type of epithelium is called glandular epithelium. What are the secretions? Yes, saliva, tear gland, then sweat gland. So glands, we know what is being present in our body. Okay, so such types of epitheliums are called as glandular epithelium. Then comes columnar epithelium. Here you can see column-like or pillar-like. Collar-like or pillar-like cells are there, and here you can see the nucleus. It is at the base region. Here you can see nucleus at the base region, and inner lining, where it is present, inner lining of our intestine, and in respiratory tract. In respiratory tract, cells have, these type of columnar cells have hairs or cilia, that is above this region. They will be having hairs or cilia to move or push the mucus and clear it. So to move or push and to clear the mucus. So in the respiratory, such type of columnar epithelium, that can be called as ciliated columnar epithelium. Why ciliated? Because it consists of cilia or hair-like projections here. Hair-like structures which helps to move or push the mucus and clear it. Mainly it is present in the respiratory tract. So such type of columnar epithelium which is having cilia or hair-like, they are known as ciliated columnar epithelium. Okay. So what are the function? Helps in absorption, excretion and secretion. And here you can see the stratified squamous epithelium, or it is the stratified or the striated is given here. It's actually the stratified squamous epithelium, both way. So squamous flat cells arranged in many layers to prevent wear and tear. We know already stratified means which is many layers of cells are present, and where it mainly prevent the wear and tear. Wherever there is a chance of injury or wear and tear, it is been present. That is the skin to prevent wear and tear, the tongue region where we are eating the hard food, etc., or the esophagus, that is the food pipe where we are eating the food, where the food pipe through which the food goes inside, then lining of our mouth. So it mainly gives protection as well as prevent wear and tear. So this is all about the epithelial tissues. So what are the epithelial tissues which we studied? That is simple squamous epithelium, stratified squamous epithelium, then cuboidal epithelium, then glandular epithelium, columnar epithelium and ciliated columnar epithelium. So this is all about the epithelial tissue which mainly acts as, gives protection. Okay. So next we need to learn about the connective tissue, next animal tissue, which will be discussed in the next video. Thank you.